Hello class, we find ourselves once again in another video in regards to Python. And in this video what I want to do is cover strings within the Python shell. Now strings is nothing more than simply text. So if I post in here, this is an online class. Notice that you just cannot type in here before. Similar to our print command, you have to use either a double or a single quote around your strings. So I could either do with a double quote, boom, or I can use a single quote, boom. It'll work either way. Now, sometimes what you'll end up having to do is use a double or single quote on the same string sentence. So for an example, generally if we'll start out with a double quote, this don't seem right. Now this will actually work, and the reason so being is because I start and end with a double quote, but I use a single quote in between. If I happen to use a single quote as my outside, what's going to happen is Python will think, okay, this is the beginning of my string. I'm using a single quote again. This is the end of my string. And the rest of these characters, I'm not sure exactly what to do with. So the reason is, this is the reason that you can use double and single within the same sentence, but what you would want to do is alternate them. So for example, if I use a double quote in between, it's not going to work, same as before. But if I use a single quote, come on now. It'll work just fine. Another way that you can do is use what's referred to as an escape character. An escape character is something that will make it ignore anything in between. And how we would do that is this. Let's use a double quote on our outside, and we'll use, I take that back, let's do it this way. Let's use a single quote just as we did here, where it didn't actually recognize all of it. But this time we'll put an escape character in here. So if I take this same one that we know it won't work, and I put a backward backslash, you see automatically that it changed the color, and I hit enter, it'll actually accept it and it won't show that escape character. Those are two ways that you could use double and single quote in the same sentence. So this brings up the other point. When we use our print statement and utilize our string and either being a double or single quote, there's also another character escape codes that you need to be aware of. And those are like the /b or the /n and the /t. I think there's a /a and a /r. And these are what they refer to as escape codes. And what they will do is they'll actually kind of like a special character within your strings. And let's see what exactly that is. So, for example, let's do a print command. And remember, we have to have our surrounding deal in either single or double quotes. So let's say, hey, how are you? And then we're going to use a /n today and end our quote. Okay. So we're going to use a special character of /n. So if I print, what's going to happen is Python will recognize it as an escape character of a new line. So this n is a new line. So it will print out specifically the string new line space today. So let's look at the other one and see what they do. Say, hey, how are you? /B today. So the /B actually means backspace. And the reason that we see the X08, it's actually the hexacode term for backspace, just so you know. So let's try another one. Let's do print. Hey, how are you? And let's do /T. I guess you can probably figure out which one this is already. If I do that, then it's a tab, right? So the /T is for a tab. So let's try the other ones just so that we can have this on the screen here. Let's see, we did B, N, T. Let's do A. And A is a dot. How are you? Boom. And then let's do the last one. R. The /R is just simply a carriage return. So those are basically the main ones that we use. Primarily, what you'll end up finding out, you'll use the new line most likely and the tab. Those are the two primary ones within strings that you're going to use the most often. And generally we print out either instructions or a request within Python within our programs. That's basically kind of a bit of an overview of strings that I wanted you guys to get a handle on and what you can and can't do with them. Just for grins, another thing that you could do is, remember we were referring to variables, and a variable is basically kind of like holding a data within a specific name. So if I did s equals and then put in my string, I'm going to take all this out and put in my string here, and then what I can do now is simply do print that S, capital S, because it's case sensitive. Now I don't want quotes on here because, again, quotes or single or double is identifying your string, and I've already identified my string, put it into the variable S, and I want to print my S out. I just hit enter and it'll be exactly as I requested. So nonetheless, this is just a quick deal over strings, and